If you want to talk about something else you won't believe, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Shemp of the Trumps. No offense to Shemp. Thanks. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Robert, for the bits as well, and Kath and Karen, bless you. And again, thanks again, Cynthia. Oh my gosh. And Heather, today I turned 40, and I'm so happy to be spending part of that day with Sparkle. Oh, thanks. Well, we're so glad you're here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Heather Feather. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Honest to God, I didn't want to sing Happy Birthday to You with Eric's face on the screen. That's the only reason I changed what was up there. Okay. Although that is pretty funny. He looks like he has that look on his face like, better blow out those candles or it's going to set the whole cake on fire. This is him on, what show is this? Oh, on Eric Bowling, and on Eric Bowling show on Newsmax. And this is Eric Trump, I've never been more proud of my father. Yes, because indictments are like that in the Trump. It's like he's a made man now in the Trump family.
Eric Trump. Eric, thanks for joining us. Big day.
Yeah, I just got back from getting frozen yogurt injected into my cheeks again. And we put you against a black background because if people knew where you actually were, you'd get in big trouble.
I saw you tweet something about how much money Alvin Bragg and how much time they wasted in New York. It is just incredible. Go ahead, sir.
Hold on. Alvin Bragg has shut down the entire city, called up 30th Avenue, closed down the FDR Drive, and spending an estimated $200 million of city funds, all for a $130,000 NDA. I never thought I could see this level of corruption in the United States. Okay. The estimated $200 million of city funds isn't just for this case, motherfucker. It's for your whole business and Alan Weisselberg and all the cases around it. And it's also to make an example of you so that other businesses don't try to run the shit. Let's say if Bloomberg ever decides to run again and wants to pay off a prostitute or a porn star so he doesn't get in trouble, like he'll know it'll cost him some. Of course, to him, that's not a lot of money. To you, it's the end time.
Take it over.
Well, they did. I mean, Eric, first of all, great to be on. I flew in with my father. I spent every minute with him over the last 48 hours. And
that's awkward. The man can't shit alone. Does he need 24-hour help? 48-hour help? Every minute? Every minute. Every minute, Eric?
I flew into New York with him, and literally every intersection was closed. Every intersection had...
No, literally every intersection was not closed.
NYPD officers with automatic rifles. The FDR Drive was closed. It was Fort Knox around Trump Tower. It was Fort Knox around the courthouse. There's motorcade routes all throughout the city. I mean...
Yeah, you were in with him. That's why you do realize this is one of those moments where Eric finds out that just because it's raining where you are doesn't mean it's raining on Earth in general. Oh, boy.
They spent $200 million, Eric, $200 million to go after my father for something that is not a crime, is something that's done every single day.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a question at the trial, I guess. How many times has your dad done it, and with whom, and for how much? Because then we can discern whether or not this was a one-off or it was a regular pattern. And that's part and parcel to the entire crime, I would say.
They couldn't even name the crime in the actual indictment. This, by the way, Eric, is after spending 6 years. They subpoenaed 11 million documents from the Trump Organization.
Yeah, it's a different case, dickhead.
There's every single email you've ever had, every business deal you've ever done. They do through everything. They couldn't find a single thing.
Your dad's CFO is in... Your CFO is in fucking jail right now. He's in jail. Your accountant is in jail. Your chief financial officer is in fucking jail.
So they do an indictment for $130,000.
Oh, Mr. Bojangles. Oh my gosh. Bless you. Thank you so much.
Payment. And they spent $200 million.
Matching Cynthia.
City resources to get there, shutting down the city. And by the way, that's not including a district attorney's office who's been spent the last 6 years, and again, investigating every aspect of my father. And yet you go into anywhere in New York, People are getting killed. There's homelessness. A couple months ago, I talk about it all the time because I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. A little girl was shot in the face in Times Square. You have women that are getting
all right. You can't keep bringing up the same story over and over again as if it's a daily occurrence to make an example of the city when it's fucking New York. Jesus Christ. When has New York ever been like Disneyland? The way they talk about this fucking place, it's as if like you used to be able to walk down the street buck naked, leave your doors open. You could open the trunk of your car and put gold bricks in the back end, and nobody'd fuck with anything.
thrown in front of trains, you know, in the subway. Homelessness.
Well, there aren't trains anywhere else. What do you expect?
Is out of control. People are leaving New York City in droves. The New York City and New York State has lost 3% of its population in the last 3 years. I mean, hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, but that's largely because your dad is fat. Hey, I'm kidding.
Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are leaving. Their entire tax base is leaving. People don't feel safe there. Tourism is getting affected because people don't want to go into a dangerous area. But yet, what is Alvin Bragg doing? He's going after Donald Trump, a guy who's winning the Republican nomination by 35 points right now.
Yeah, which is weird considering shouldn't he just run away with it? Shouldn't it be 90? I guess. Right? After his he's got lower numbers after he was president, and then when he ran last time after the primary, he was getting 70%, 80%.
He's clearly the undisputed leader. Going after him for $130,000 payment, which was totally legal, that he made 6 years ago.
No, asshat. You were there every minute with him during this entire endeavor. Then you've seen the indictment. It's not just about that 130. It's about the 150 to Karen McDougal. It's about the payment to the doorman. It's about the reimbursements. It's about the catch and kill scheme.
This is the state of our country. This is the weaponization of politics we have in this country. And it's not just Alvin Bragg.
The weaponization of politics. All right. Your father views weaponization of politics as his key tool to stay out of jail right now, dummy. He's only running because he thinks it'll save him from jail.
You see it in Georgia. You see it with crooked Letitia James in New York, who campaigned. By the way, all of these guys campaigned, Eric, on the promise, we're going to go into office and we're going to get Donald Trump.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to keep promises. You're supposed to say you did when you didn't, like my dad.
We're going to sue the hell out of him. We're going to go after his family. We're going to go after his friends. We're going to go after everybody in his inner circle. We're going to go after...
Yeah, that's not what they said. No, they were saying him. Fuck that guy. In general, like that, every crime he's gotten away with ends now. They weren't going, anybody who even talks to Donald Trump, I'm bringing him in here. And by the way, this is specifically a lie to kind of grow this out. This is another version of, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just in the way. This isn't like, there's 10 different ways to say that, and that's what he's trying. What a fucking tool.
After his attorneys and his banks and his lenders and his
attorneys. You just said his attorney's a convicted felon, his former attorney's a convicted felon and a liar, and yeah, they went after him, and you basically have said he deserved it.
You know, business relationships, we're going to go after every person in that orbit. And that's what they do. And by the way, Eric,
no, it isn't what they do.
They fundraised off of doing this. Not only did they promise it before they knew a damn thing, because they weren't in the office, they
also, this idea that they didn't know anything because they weren't in the office, when they've all moved up into the higher part of that office, they were there for a lot of these investigations. They were around this kind of shit. This goes into that, and it's a weird sticking point. They were after me even before they knew anything about me. Well, they sure as shit are still after you after they found out. That one of the accidental things that this dickhead and his dad are saying is that they hated my guts before they even knew me, which would I guess it would say that once they found out about you, and you found out how innocent you were, they go, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I said he was an asshole, but once I've looked at the paper, there's really nothing there. When the opposite is true, and more in line with everybody that Trump has hired in the White House and stuff, which is as soon as they see what's going on with him, oh my gosh, Jess, thank you so much. after they see what's going on with this fuckhead, they're like, oh, no, we definitely have to go after him now. I hated his guts, but this was, I had no idea it was this bad.
Fundraised on the fact that they were going to do it. And now, yesterday, they wasted $200 million and called up 38,000 NYPD officers to go after Donald Trump, a political rival.
There's 38,000 in the whole fucking town. What the fuck is he talking about? This, and by the way, this is the kind of businessman that Eric Trump is that any number is the number.
For $130,000. Give me a break. No one buys it. It doesn't pass the smell test. It doesn't pass the smell test.
So, Eric, who do you think? Like, Alvin Bragg's a useful idiot. He's the puppet. He's just there.
Yeah, that's totally George Soros.
He had nothing.
It's the Jews, clearly, right? We're going with the Jews.
He had nothing.
Where's Kushner? See what I mean? Huh? Yeah. Stole his daughter, fucked off to the Middle East, left him here to get attacked. And Soros, huh? You don't think they're coordinating? Huh?
I mean, legal scholars will tell him he had nothing, but someone must be pulling his strings. Now, who do you think that might be?
Alvin Bragg even said he was never going to go after this. They looked at it. They looked at it on a federal level. There was nothing there. Alvin Bragg himself, Eric, said he was not going to go after this. And you know what?
Yeah, maybe he was tricking you into letting your guard down.
What happens? Soros gives him $1 million, and so guess what? He becomes the puppet to Soros. This becomes a campaign promise.
Hey,
of his.
He's not listening to Eric anymore. Fuck you. I'm just ranting on this. He was already elected. If Soros gave him the money to do it, then he never would have said, I'm not going to do it. If he's following orders.
To everybody, and then he goes on CNN. He goes on MSNBC. And how dare you? How dare you not go after Donald Trump? I mean, you know, are you going to let us down? Are you going to let the people of New York down? They goaded him into doing it. He knew he didn't have a crime there.
Yes, the public. That's who really wants my father prosecuted. It's the people of the city, county, and state of New York.
People are laughing about it. Van Jones is on CNN literally laughing about this. My father's worst political enemies, the rhinos, the Democrats. They're sitting there saying, hey, guys, you might have kind of, fired this one off a little bit too quickly. They're laughing at this whole indictment.
No, we're not. We're laughing at your dad. We're laughing at the fact that he has to have this conversation over and over again about 2 different women he fucked and a possible third that he might have had a kid with that the Inquirer was like, there's nothing there. And, that's a trustworthy publication, I think, don't you think?
But yet he's getting goaded into doing it. And the person who's paying him, none other than Soros, who's destroying our country, he's telling him, hey, you better go do this. I just gave you $1 million and I'll probably give you more money if you go do it, right? He's doing the same thing in Atlanta. The exact same thing. They've weaponized the entire system. They couldn't get him through the executive.
The Jews are paying the blacks to attack the whites. Huh. Are you sure your dad wrote Art of the Deal and not Helter Skelter?
Executive branch. So guess what they do? They weaponize local DAs, AGs. They go after him. They go after his family. They go after all of us.
You're not his family?
Eric, if I had one thing that I had ever done wrong in my life, one crooked thing, 1/1000th of what Hunter Biden had done, I would be sitting in an orange suit right now in jail. And fortunately,
dude, you just pled the fifth 400 times.
I live a very, very clean life with a wife and kids that
I mean, not mine,
I
obviously.
love in a very, very clean business. They don't do a damn thing to Hunter Biden.
In a very, very clean business.
He's got crack. He's got prostitution. He's got illegal deals.
And all the things I want. Here I am stuck with this fucking wife and kids nonsense.
No one can tell me what product he sells that he can get millions of dollars out of China. What product was he selling that he could get millions of dollars?
Yeah, access. Yeah, sure, access. I mean, the Chinese wanted the CHIPS Act to get passed. They wanted American factories reshored out of China at the fastest clip in history. And they wanted us to back up Taiwan and give nuclear-powered subs to Australia so that they could protect them and join in a security partnership with Japan and restart the Quad. And that's what they wanted. So they're like, here, Hunter Biden, give this. We will pay your dad $1 million to skull fuck us.
Out of Ukraine, of course. People will come after us. You know, the difference is we have country clubs and we have hotels and we've got great residential buildings and commercial buildings. You know what we do. We've been in real estate for the last 100 years.
No, you've been living off your grandfather's business like a fucking tick.
No one can tell what Hunter Biden sells, but you know what? They won't go after him. You know,
Well, he doesn't sell. He was an investment manager with an investment group. He's not selling anything, dumb fuck. That's why it's actually more out in the open. You want to talk about fucking opaque financial records? All right, 1 second. Hold 1 second. Let's see. Yeah. You want to talk about what's fucking sketchy as shit about that asshole's business? Let me, right here. This shit. Anonymous Owner LLC. Why it has become so easy to hide in the housing market. A way to protect property owners from personal liability has also turned out to be handy for enabling problematic behavior like laundering money or being a bad landlord. When Sean Hannity, the popular Fox News host, was revealed this month to be a property owner and a landlord of considerable scale, it highlighted how opaque the housing market has become. Owning real estate is limited in limited liability companies, as The Guardian reported that Mr. Hannity does, is perfectly legal and increasingly popular practice, but with the whiff of secrecy and the umbrage Mr. Hannity has taken after the secret got out, speaks to the growing role of LLCs in the nation's housing market. And the Trump org has fucking hundreds of these LLCs where they're partnered with other people that can remain almost entirely anonymous. And much of it fucking foreign money. LLCs shield property owners from personal liability while obscuring their identities. In some cases, so much anonymity also enables money laundering, and it can mean that tenants struggle to hold landlords accountable, that critics fail to fix blight, and that researchers can't ask basic questions about the housing market. Boop. Towers of secrecy, piercing the shell companies. From Manhattan condominiums to California mansions to gentrifying neighborhoods in Brooklyn, shell companies are increasingly pervasive in the world of real estate. These articles explore the people behind these opaque deals. Look at all these. A mansion, a shell company, and resentment in Bel Air. U.S. will tackle secret buyers of luxury real estate. And by the way, they put a fucking stop to that once Trump was in office. U.S. targets $1 billion in assets in Malaysian embezzlement case. Stream of foreign wealth flows to elite New York real estate. This is exactly why these assholes are in the real estate business, because real estate is the money laundering outlet of choice. If you want a semi-legit place to park your fucking money between using it for human trafficking, drugs, guns, murder for hire, all kinds of shit, or just screwing the average person out of their potential wealth by denying them the ability to get loans because you've eaten up all the available loans in an area, real estate's your baby. And these motherfuckers, this clean business horseshit, okay, open up all your LLC ownership agreements then, because that's not in the 11,000 pages. Fuck these dudes. Clean business. Get the fuck out of here.
He'll lie on a 4473, a firearms form, that he's not taking any illegal drugs. Guess what? They don't go after him. You think if I lied on a federal firearms form, I'd be in jail right now?
No, you wouldn't. Wait, hold on. Apparently I have, yes? Can I help you? Oh, hi, Chud. How are you? What's going on? Well, where are you going? I've got to do a show. Well, what? Here, people want to see you. Come here. Whoop. What's up, girl? Ladies and gentlemen, Chud. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello. She's like, I need a ride upstairs, asshole. There she is. Hi, girl. There she is. Oh, it's a good scratch. Oh, it's a good chin scratch. Oh, it is good. Okay, here you go. 1 second. Let me give her a lift upstairs. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's a professional show. Get off my back. I got to take care of my cat. Just remembered reading a story not long ago about Sean Hannity seek legal advice from Michael Cohen for real estate advice. Exactly. These motherfuckers. This has always been a grift. The Trumps in general, their entire real estate empire is based on money laundering. All of it. Now, while we're at this, this asshole says clean business, and I'm like, fuck you. All right. Let's see. Trump Tower, Russian. Yeah, here you go. Here's your clean business. Trump's businesses are full of dirty Russian money. The scandal is that it's legal. Shell companies put figures from Putin's mafia into Trump Tower. Should that be worrying? Yes. Collusion or not, President Trump and the Russians are thick as thieves. Yes, that's collusion. For more than 3 decades, at least 13 people with known or alleged links to the Russian mafia held the deeds to, lived in, or ran criminal operations out of Trump Tower in New York or other Trump properties. I mean, that many of them use Trump-branded real estate. Hold on. Hold on. I'm on the air, Mom. I love you. I'll call you back. Hello? Hi. I'm on the air. I love you. Can I call you back? Okay. Yes, already did. Yes. I'll call you back in a bit. Love you. Bye. Okay, bye. Okay. That's sorry. You got to take your mom's call, even when it's on your Dick Tracy watch. Hey, fucking Dick Tracy. Hey, thanks for becoming a member. By the way, subscribe, please. If you haven't subscribed, do that. We're close to 50K. We're so close. We're so close. And remind all the people who subscribe to Midas Touch to subscribe to me too. I know if they've subscribed to Midas Touch, they're on board with a lot of what we talk about here, and there's no reason why they shouldn't subscribe here too. I'm just saying. I don't send out notifications if they don't want them. Just subscribe. Jesus Christ. All right, so here we go. What I mean is that for more than 3 decades, okay, we read that. Okay. I mean that in many of them use Trump-branded real estate to launder vast amounts of money by buying multi-million-dollar condos through anonymous shell companies. I mean that the Bayrock Group, a real estate development company that was based in Trump Tower, had ties to the Kremlin, came up with a new business model to franchise Trump condos after he lost billions of dollars in his Atlantic City casino developments and helped make him rich again. Yet Trump's relationship with the Russian underworld, a de facto state actor, was barely surfaced in the uproar surrounding Russia's interference in the 2016 campaign. That oversight may be explained in part by journalist Michael Kinsley's long-held maxim: the real scandal isn't what's illegal, it's what is legal. Just the rise of the secret buyer. Trump's entire wealth mechanism and his salvaging of his failing business is based during the time that this fucking happened. And if Glenn Beck took his fucking bullshit chalkboard to this scandal the way he does it, to Marxism and whatever the fuck all the time, he'd burn his own studio down in an afternoon to hide what he discovered. It's clean business. Shut the fuck up.
That really is the point. And
oh, water got us. Yeah, it's 48 hours. Hey, fucking Dick Tracy. Right.
And the folks need to understand this. You like Trump or not, doesn't matter.
It does matter. I don't like him, but it's not because I don't like his fucking face, dumbass. It's because he's awful. I don't like his jerk-off face. I don't like his jerk-off attitude. And I don't like what he does, jerk off. Now get out of my beach community.
If they're going to do this to President Trump, forget citizen Donald J. Trump, which he is right now.
Right. Thanks for reminding Eric of that. That's good. That's fun. Can we just all bask in that for a minute? Yes, he's no longer president.
They can do it to anybody.
No, it's the other way around, dumb fuck. They've always been able to do it to anybody else who commits a crime. He just got away with it. It's the idea that they won't flip this shit on its head, or they attempt to. And look at the way he just said that. Look at the way Eric Bolling just stated that. The way he was like, they could do this to it. Like he genuinely thinks what he just said makes sense. That's how fucking stupid he is. I'm swearing an extra amount this show because I'm aggravated. This asshole thinks that the scandal is that Trump is finally getting treated like everybody else. And his way of taking it is, oh my God, if they can go after somebody as powerful as Trump, the rest of us are fucked. No, the rest of us have always been fucked. If we fuck with people, he's managed to skate it this whole time. Jesus Christ.
Anyone could be, if you're on the wrong side of their debate, their idea, their ideology, their politics.
Do you think Peter Thiel is clean in his businesses, to borrow this asshole's phrase? No, and he's as libertarian psycho as you could possibly want. But the government isn't going after him because he doesn't commit overt crimes and get caught doing it because he's a ham-handed asshole.
Let's see, they can go after you if you let them get away with it. Eric, you mentioned Van Jones. There was a reporter on MSNBC. Take a listen to how they summed up yesterday. Watch.
When Trump came into the courtroom, he looked particularly angry, visibly shaken, and the most gaunt that I've seen him.
That is not a conqueror. That is a granddad having a very bad day.
Yeah, that Van Jones clip has been going around. Is that? And by the way, that's a different doorman than the one who said he had a fake kid or that watched Melania fuck the head of security at Tiffany's. I think different guy, or maybe that guy's just on his way to playing a jazz band.
You know, Eric, I've known your dad for a very long time, for 20 years. I've known him a very long time. Yeah, he was stoic. Okay, he's in a courtroom, but, and I've said this before, that what's going on right now seems to be spinach to Popeye. This isn't something that's going to derail Donald J. Trump for president, is it?
No. The documents case will.
Spinach to Popeye might be the greatest analogy I've heard, and I think
That's okay. That's exactly what I was.
that's exactly right. I spent every minute of the last 48 hours, as I said, with my father.
Yes, we talked about that earlier. That's gross. Did you wipe his ass? What are you talking about? That's like something you say about someone as they're passing away. We think he's on his deathbed, so I've spent every minute with my father as he's in the bed and the nurse was giving him a sponge bath. And, right? Maybe that's what's making him so upset. I've never seen Trump look this gaunt or this, like, disgusted and angry. Well, Eric is around him every second of every day. All right, well, that'll do it. That'll do it. Probably not the case.
I've never seen a stronger man in my life. The guy
Come on.
is a rock. He's got backbones the likes of which I've never seen before. To leave a courtroom.
He's got backbones the like. All right, clearly.
Only to fly to Florida to deliver a speech in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Hundreds and hundreds. Chill out.
He is more determined than ever before. He's more determined to save the country. He's more worried.
He's more determined to keep his ass out of jail.
About the country ever before because of exactly what they're doing. The man is incredible. The man is an absolute rock. He's taken every single arrow for the Republican Party. He's taken every single fight. And
wait a minute. The Republican Party didn't pay off a porn star fuckwad.
He's had to fight every weaponized institution from the DOJ to the FBI, social media censorship, general media whose coverage of
general media. Yeah, I know the Democrats control
him.
everything.
Despite the incredible things that he did, 92%
like what?
Negative media coverage of him. He took on the entire media. He took on the entire establishment. He
didn't take on the entire media. He called them the enemy of the people because he didn't like what they said about him because he's a fucking weakling.
Took on every single rhino. The rhinos are actually worse than the Democrats if you want to.
Well, welcome to your broken clock moment, Eric.
You know the truth, Eric. Took off every rhino. He took on the entire Democratic Party, and he won. And it's
until he fought Joe Biden, I guess, and then they took control of everything while he was president. Because understand what these accusations mean. Think them through for a second, and you'll realize how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs this entire argument is. Cocoa Puffs aren't a real thing, but it sounds adorable. The idea is that Democrats control big tech, government institutions, all the major government institutions. The corporations have all gone woke, right? The biggest cities, all of them, control all the big cities. They have absolute control over the military-industrial complex, right? What else? They are in league with foreign governments, so they have control over. They force NATO to go along with what we're doing in Ukraine, for example. And all of that happened when Trump was president of the United States. So not only did Democrats take fucking over everything, but they did it while he was president. Like, how is that how do you fuck up that bad? That while you run things, your opponent took over everything?
Amazing. We landed in Palm Beach, and I hopped in the car with him, the Beast, and we're driving.
Well, yeah, and obviously you're with him every minute. Did you go straight from the plane toilet?
Driving from Palm Beach International to Mar-a-Lago, and the streets were lined with people. They were lined with people, Eric, that were waving American flags. They're waving Trump.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cars too, so there's like 3 per car, and that kind of just spread out over a large distance. Yeah.
Flags that were singing "God Bless America." These people were so patriotic. They love my father. They love what he stands for. They love
the $200 we handed out to people to come down.
Standing up for this nation. They see the bullets he's taken and how unfair.
He hasn't taken any bullets, dummy.
Those bullets are. He's fighting for.
There's no fairness in bullets. There's no crying in baseball.
One of them. And as a son, I've never been more proud of my father than I have been over the last 48 hours. And I mean,
that's weird.
That's sincerely. I was proud of him when he won the damn election. He did an incredible job, and the fight that we all went through was incredible. That was an emotional day. I was proud of him when he, on his final day, as we took that final trip back to Florida on Air Force One. I'll never.
Yes, final is a good word. I like that you're using the word final.
Forget that day. I'm telling you, I've never been more proud of him. The day he walked out of that courtroom and he hopped on the plane, he went and delivered that speech. Because honestly, what they're doing is third world. They're impressing Vladimir Putin with their tactics. And I said this the other night. I promise you, Eric, we're going to beat these guys. People in this country are incredibly smart.
Agreed. And I don't know who you're talking about as far as beating, quote, these guys. But I would be horrified if the proudest I ever was of my father was the day he was indicted. Especially over paying off a porn star and trying to hide the payment by falsifying business records. Your whole fucking life. What is he, 43, 45? How old is this asshole? And your whole fucking life, this is the most proud you've been of your father.
They know you don't spend $200 million of resources in a city who has run out of resources.
Yeah, New York didn't run out of
resources. To go after a political opponent, the former president of the United States, a guy who has been absolutely lambasted by.
Yes, he was. It was true. There was a big lambasting going on.
Fake scandal after fake scandal after fake scandal that has been disproven for a perfectly
yeah, no, they haven't.
Legal $130,000 payment.
Yeah, perfectly legal to make the payment. You're right. But hiding it and lying about it on business records, that's the part he's being indicted for, you putz.
It doesn't make any sense when people are getting murdered in the street, when people are getting shot on Fifth Avenue.
Yes, if these people would just have the decency to be murdered indoors.
Makes no sense at all. Alvin Bragg should be ashamed of himself. Letitia James should be ashamed of himself, and all of these people.
Yes, Letitia James would be a herself.
We have to stop the games. We have to stop the nonsense. We have to let the democratic process prevail.
Yeah, I agree. The democratic process will prevail, and your dad will lose again.